If he's a dinosaur, I'm thinking I might have been part of the Ark long, long time ago. And let's hope that Tom Berman, 6 months from now, thinks we're as awesome as we were our first 6 months. We're happy to be here, and we're really happy you're here. And I want to reach out to all of you first and thank you, because our first 6 months, honestly, has been great. And a lot of it is because of you giving us a fair shot and you giving our guys a new breath of fresh air. And hopefully we'll give you guys that back tenfold during the season. And before I talk about our program, our players, our staff that I'm very proud of, I just want to take a moment. I don't know how many people are just Wyoming people here. If you haven't had a chance to get to some of the other facilities in this country, and I say this about as unbiased as I could, you are sitting in one of the most immaculate buildings, and it still blows my mind. If you met the people that clean this place in the mornings and in the evenings, I think we take that for granted. And I'm telling you, you walk down this corridor all the way to the field house. This is one of the cleanest and well-kept buildings in the country. And without embarrassing any other schools, I just challenge you to go and take a look the next time you're on the road anywhere, because we got a beautiful setup here, and Bill and his crew do an extraordinary job. I'm baffled every day. I also am very proud of our coaching staff. Some of us have been together a very long time, some of us not such a long time, but I worked hard to get these guys, and I owe a lot to Tom Berman and our president for being gracious enough and generous enough to put together a great staff. I'm a we guy. I've always been a we guy. I will always continue to be a we guy. I've been an assistant and a proud one for 33 years, and I've been a head coach only 6. These guys are very important. And everything that we do in our program, they will have input. There will be not one guy we recruit that I bring in. There won't be one guy recruited that one of them brings in. And hopefully we'll embody that spirit. We'll be able to pass it along to our young guys that we have in our program. Obviously, to my left, a familiar face, Scott Duncan. We literally grew up together, college. He was unfortunately quite a bit younger, so we went to the same school, but he chased around my wife's roommate for a while. That's where we first met. And you can tell he didn't end up with her. He will do a little bit of everything, but more than anything, he's organized, he's thorough, and I think we look for players, and we're always wanting players that have a feel for the game. There's a guy that's got a feel for what we do. It's important in everything we do. And of course, to his left, another draft choice from UCLA Bruins last year, Wes Long started with Rick Barnes, one of my mentors, and he started as a basketball coach. He went to UCLA as a strength coach and was sort of pigeon-tailed into a position that I don't think down the road he wants to be. He wants to be a basketball coach. He is a basketball coach, and he's going to be a very successful one down the road. Right now, he's working with our guys both in the off-season and during the year, but he will be flowered in his career sometime in the near future. To his left, a young man that covered my tail for 2 years at Florida because I'm not very good operating VCRs, discs, computers. I'm not bad game planning, but I don't use the equipment that some of these guys do. And Greg Zelznick was with us the last 2 years at Florida. He's got a law degree. I begged him not to go into coaching, but I didn't win that. And he is now in coaching. He's our director of basketball. And again, he will be a piece of everything we do. To his left, Larry Shyatt. We've known each other quite some time, actually. I don't think he was crazy about me, nor was I him certain days as we were growing apart. But again, I think I've reflected in the groups that I've talked to this year. If you're a father or a grandfather, I really don't have to express that type of joy that you'd have. And especially in a profession that I would dare say we probably spent 20 times more time, he would be the judge, 20 times more time with the young ladies or young men we coach than our own children. So to be able to have this time back with somebody, and he's busted his tail 8 years in his profession, is great. And it's a great feeling. And he better get a recruit. Alan Edwards to his left, a guy that I chased hard from the day we got the job. I met with Scott Duncan. He was with us that day, and we talked and talked about Alan. Alan ran Anthony Grant's defense at VCU for 3 years, worked with Jeremy, and then went to Western Kentucky. And we're very happy that we have Alan and his family. He is not just a defensive coach, so let's not lock him into that. In basketball, we don't have timeouts every 30 seconds, and we don't call upstairs and analyze. We have to be products of what we've done at practice. We have to be able to coach every position, and we have to be able to coach offense and defense, and he can. And so hopefully he's going to provide a real stable force for us at both ends. And then last but not least, Guy, I know he wore that undershirt on purpose. Well, you see him stand up. But Tim Johnson started the last 4 years at Wofford, a school in South Carolina, went to back-to-back NCAAs, played for one of my best friends in coaching. He's a graduate student here. He's going to be with us 2 years, and he can bang with the best of them on the practice floor. I like that. I say as a body, we have very good, what you'd want in terms of chemistry. And chemistry sometimes is balance. Who can play off of other people's strengths and what weaknesses we have. I think we're going to work well together, and like I said, this is not going to be a one-man show, win or lose. We're going to try to develop something to make you proud and hopefully make your readers and listeners proud. You know, we've talked enough about why we're here and all that kind of nonsense for 6 months. We've had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday. We went 6 straight days. We practiced twice on Saturday. We practiced twice on Sunday. The guys loved every second. They were in great spirits. I'm glad they're talking to you today, because that's a bunch of you know what. Truthfully, we need to drive this group. This is what I consider one of the most important 3 weeks of the season. Noah and Van Gundy spoke to these guys, and I know they listened, and they talked about you really don't know who you are. You really don't know how you have in terms of any chemistry until adversity hits. And you know what? It's hard to grab adversity until the big L's come. So we're trying to make sure through frustration, fatigue, criticism, anything and everything we can devise in terms of practice and practice drills to make every day harder and harder and harder. We need that toughness, that competitiveness. Our older guys need it, and they're good. They were well coached. This spirit about this program that this last staff was short in some areas is untrue and unfounded. These older guys know how to play, and they're going to help, and they're going to be a very good foundation. And the younger guys are exactly what we thought. They're behind. They're behind emotionally, they're behind physically, and they're behind conditioning-wise. The goal was to get this thing connected, our guys counting on each other. I used 3 words early when we first took the job, and it's got its footprints in our program already. Aggressive, disciplined, unselfish. And I did not talk about our basketball identity. I talked about an identity I would love to have on and off the court. I would like us to have an edge about us when we're in class time, when we're walking on campus. I would like our guys to reach out and smile first, to shake a hand first, to have an edge and know you're being counted on to be a good person first and on the court. I'd like our guys to have a level of discipline. And discipline to me, and I've told them over and over again, is who you are and what you do when no one's watching. Obedience is what your dog does because you're telling him all the time. We can all be obedient. We need to learn a level of discipline when you're not being scolded, when you're not being walked around on a leash. That's who you are. And last but not least, unselfishness. The act of giving. Thank God Dallas won the NBA series last year because they played the game the right way on offense and defense. And it's a great test for our guys to learn the extra pass on offense and to be verbal and loud on defense to protect each other's tail. Somebody asked me, and it was a reporter at Midnight Madness, so where you at, coach? This was after 2 days of practice. Are you kidding me? Where are you at with your terminology? Aggressive, unselfish, and disciplined. After 7 practices, I can tell you that I like everything about our numbers, which I've said before, and I like everything about our aggressiveness. If anything, we're chaotic and out of control, and I don't mind that as long as they get out of themselves. And as far as unselfishness, I love the fact that we're looking for others, and we don't have anything that even resembles a pig on the floor offensively. But I got to tell you, we're way, way behind in a level of discipline, meaning grasping what we want to do on offense or defense and being able to slow down the chariot and look around and see the game. We're not there yet. And you know what? 3 weeks from now, if we stay aggressive and we stay unselfish, we'll live with the process of finding discipline. That's what we need to do. I don't want to bore you with any more thoughts. I'll be happy to visit with you. I hope you take the time to visit with these guys because they know what they're doing and they are good people. And we'll give you everything we can this year. And just correct my grammar so my wife doesn't get upset with me. Thanks.